Right, it's Friday. That's me just about to leave Cologne now. Just picked up a couple of wee things. So I'm not been feeling it here as much as the thermal pools were quite nice. I don't know if it's these roads. They do my head in. I mean, you're in a town and they're unpaved. It's kind of, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody gets on with it. Some of the half the roads in here are paved. I don't really know what to make of it. Couple of niggles from the van as well. There's nothing major. I think that's bothering me as well. There's still a leak from the coolant system. That doesn't seem to come to much. In fact, sometimes it's leaking, sometimes it's not, so I don't get that one. I'm trying to figure out if the clutch sounds normal or not, but the gears are changing fine, it's not slipping. So I just need to keep an eye on it when it's in, when the clutch pedal's in. It doesn't sound, I don't know, it doesn't sound right to me, but then maybe I've never listened to it before, so maybe yeah, it's fine. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit now. So I'm going to move on to a place called Chajari at the moment. There was a place on my list in between, but I'm getting a wee bit fed up with these short journeys. I thought the short journeys were okay till I found my feet, but you're getting in a place and I'm doing the same things, and I'm seeing a lot of the same things, to be honest. Same kind of streets, the plaza, and then yeah, the old building here and there, the old car. So yeah, so I'll miss out a stop today and go to the one after that and see how we got on. Anyway, I'll speak to you later. Look at the size of that flag. Police stop there, but I think they just stopped me because I've got a foreign number plate. They were friendly enough, they just wanted to chat, chat as far as they could, just asked a couple of questions if I was a motorhome. Had a wee look inside and then let me on my way. I think they're quite bored standing there all day, so they're looking for something a bit different. He asked if I had any Scottish money on me. I think he's about the third person I've asked if they must be interested in the currencies, like the different banknotes over here. But I don't have any. But why would you? I've got dollars out with me, so I don't really use cash at home anyway, so I've no British money at all. I haven't even thought about it. Okay, so back on the road. Still livened up the journey a wee bit. Also meant to say I knew it was going to get stopped. As soon as I saw it was a police stop, I thought they're going to stop me just for the hell of it, and they're going to stop me just for being nosy. So, all good. The tolls there, the guy was looking at me because I was sitting on the other side of the car. He was having a laugh. He was a really nice guy, asked where I was from. But what I've got the camera going for, see the other side of the road again, like you see the worn tracks from all the lorries. I did a bit about this the other day actually, that's right. But yeah, so I've started driving on the left hand side, which you wouldn't normally do. And these bridges can be lethal. See the black lines? Sometimes they've got a wee gully in them. Just a worn gully. It's there's a car coming, I better get across. But they're lethal. If you hit them at speed, it's quite a bang. Anyway, that's Argentinian roads for you. You pay tolls to use them, and they don't seem to be very well maintained. So it's a wee bit of lose-lose as far as I can see. Yeah, it's the joys of travelling. Okay, so this is a town called Chajari. Seems nice enough. At least the roads are paved. Which is always a plus after that last place. It seems to be a bigger. I don't know if it's a. Yeah, it does seem to be a bigger place than the last one. Yeah, this place seems to have a bit more about it than Cologne. There's nice parts of Cologne, but certainly I've seen it being the nicer part of Chajari anyway. This is quite pleasant. Let's go and have a wee look round. There's a lovely house on this corner here. And judge a place by the houses and how clean the streets are. Find a spot to park. I'm hanging out a wee bit, but hopefully it'll be okay. It's nice enough here at the square. I'll see if we can get a coffee. Turned up Arch Street, and then I remembered the one-way systems here. There's not very many two-way streets, so I kept on and turned left and parked there. I don't think they get. Oh, it seems like a tourist. There was a tourist information place on the way in, but because it's so quiet and I've just got out of a huge van, but folk were looking at me like I'd come from another planet. Anyway, closed shops are always a sign that there's a wee bit more money around here. So the streets are lovely and clean. The place is deserted though. I mean, I was saying yesterday in Cologne it was quiet. No, it wasn't as quiet as this. It's the thing though, what is it? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it's the quiet time of day, I guess, the hottest time of day. Yeah, I'm quite impressed by Chajari. It's dead, but it's beautiful. The streets are really nice and the houses are quite nice, certainly up this end. A bonny town, but it's not touristy in the slightest by the looks of things. Certainly there's nobody moving about and everything's closed, so that suggests they go by their own clock here. And the residents will come out at night and in the morning. And I guess most of them will be at work just now, except for the people in the shops, of course. So there you go, there's 8 o'clock till midday and then 4:30 till 8. And that's the hours. Everybody has the afternoons to themselves. Well, just stopping now. Customary coffee and sweet treat. Take a wee pictures of the dogs must hear me speaking from me. Start barking. So yeah, I've got coffee and my sweet treat. Took a wee picture of it. So yeah, rock and roll. These pictures of my coffees and my sweet treats. I do have other interesting things, of course, but yeah, that's a nice time of day for me. To just sit and chill for a wee while, because it's a hard life. That's nice enough then just to stop for a wee snack. This town's nice, it's much nicer like I was saying. The streets are a lot nicer. That's a bonny dog, eh? I don't want to get too close. He's sitting there for a reason. I'm sure he's guarding the premises, but I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's nice, but I'm not taking the chance. I don't like to say I drove into the main square, found a coffee shop, had a wee wander about, and that's me done the town, but I think in this case I don't know if there's much. I can certainly can't find anything online to do. This is a residential place and the thermal pools are the main draw here, so I'm way to head out there just to use the campsite. I'm not sure if I can be annoyed with the thermal pools after using the ones that come on yesterday. We'll see how that one. I was wondering what that thing is there. It's got a cross on the top. I thought it was maybe an industrial building, but it's the church steeple. That's the bell tower. It's an open bell tower. It's not the prettiest bell tower you'll ever see, but I'm sure it does the job. So you can zoom in. Anyway, so just wait to put the camera on. Anyway, you could tell it was getting cooler because it's March, so that's the equivalent of our September. So it's here with my GoPro there when it beeped and told me my SD card was full. That's never happened before. Anyway, I was saying we're getting into March here, so that's like equivalent of our September, and that's been getting cooler to a degree. But I've also got to remind myself I'm heading north, which is the equivalent to, if you, of course, heading south. So it's going to get warmer. The breeze is still quite cool. You do feel it getting slightly warmer as you head further north. Hopefully by the time we get into Paraguay and maybe Brazil, it's cooled down about there. Because yeah, much as I like the heat. Well, sleeping in it's not much fun without aircon. Anyway, I'm back at my van now. We'll go and get our campsite. This is my first proper campsite. It's at the thermal pools at Chajari. It's quite nice. I just drove straight in. There doesn't seem to be any saying at anyone wanting to take your money, but maybe they'll come across later. But it's quite good to have somewhere, a formal campsite for a change. Might even wash some clothes. In fact, I think I'll do that. Just leaving my stop for the night. Tome Chajari. These thermal pools are really nice. I didn't use them because I'd used the ones the night before. I think once you've used one thermal pool, you've used them all, although these were a step up, certainly to look at from the ones the night before, as you can see. So, I'm way to hit the road now. We head further north. Nice. A few of these stands at the side of the road. That one's selling like oranges and things. Quite a few. Some of them are empty, some of them are derelict. A few of them are getting used. Here's one of the bridges. I'm slowing down just in case I hit it with a thump because they're absolutely lethal. Oh, this looks like it could be a bit of a... Oh, imagine there's no warnings or anything. The black tyre marks on the road. Imagine hitting that with like 65 miles an hour even. I mean, that's... my top speed currently is about 55, and that's brutal. Sitting at even 30, 40 is no good for you. So yeah, these bridges are literally lethal. Oh, while I'm on as well, the central reservation's a bit wider here, but further back, just before those food stalls, the wee kiosks, there was a guy riding down the middle of the central reservation on a horse. I wish I'd been quick enough to catch him. If I can work out how to use this dash cam, I'll have footage of that. So, oh, here's another bridge. That looks just as... I don't know what. That didn't bother that car. He must know the road because that one wasn't too bad. Just thinking we're going to stay at the road on the right hand side, on the right, and this is what I'm sitting in the outside lane. It's so rough in with all the trucks. And I don't know if the heat helps. Maybe the heat softens the tar and that helps the weight. But the lorries then makes it all sink in. Resurfacing the road is first resurfacing work I've seen. It's coned off. There was a wee machine back there. I'm just holding on to see if there's another. But yeah, they're finally resurfacing the inside lane where all the trucks go. I'd like to see that when it's finished. It's down to one lane in either direction now. I don't know if that's because we were getting further north, more rural or whatever, but I just stopped at a Shell service station of all places for a coffee and the sandwich. The sandwich was a bit average, but there was an Argentinian family stopped to speak to me. They got their daughter to do the talking because she's learning English. She's been studying Australian films and videos, so she had a bit of an Australian accent. It was really good. I thought she was a native English speaker, but her accent was just really good. So that was interesting. So I'm on my way up to Tome now. That's my stop for tonight. Hopefully it's quite nice. Just some thoughts as we look through my dirty windscreen. Although the road's down in one lane in either direction, the quality of the surface is just 100 times better than it was when it was dual carriageway. And also all the trucks coming the other way, you'll see they're all new Scanias. They're not just like that one that's just passed. I don't know if that's because they're coming from Brazil. We're near the Brazil border. major downside of one lane in either direction. See the truck at the front, and there's a car, and there's a truck. That truck's only doing about 40 miles an hour, and I can't get past them. Well, I need to get past two trucks, and when you're sitting on the right hand side of your vehicle, you've got to lean out to the left, so you've really got to be careful. And I've really not had a moment to overtake them. There's a few cars have gone for it. There was one lorry who was even lucky enough to go for it, but no. Actually, you know what? I should just go for fuel. I think I've missed it a bit. Take this opportunity to go for some fuel. I think we can pick this out over on the horizon there. Big plume of smoke. I've been watching it for a while. It's getting closer. It's getting bigger and bigger. See if we get much closer to it. It looks like it could be quite a big fire by the looks of things. I wonder if we'll wait till we get a bit closer. I don't know if we're going to be close to that fire, which is probably a good thing. But it looks like there's a smaller one up ahead here. I don't know if we're going to get too close to that. Maybe find out what it is. If it's controlled or it's a wildfire. And if it's controlled, because all those kind of trees of what were once trees are still standing, and it doesn't seem to be, unless it wasn't controlled. Maybe that's just the last of it going out now. It's hard to tell. It's all still smoking. And maybe those fires are controlled, because here's what used to be a forest by the looks of things, and also on this side. So unless it's a crop of some sort, there's new trees growing through. First thought it's Christmas trees, but I mean they look like Christmas trees, but yeah, I don't. Burning them all doesn't seem to be the way to control your crops. See if I can find out what's going on. Coming up to my stop for tonight, or my turn off anyway. So already starting to look quite interesting just going by this thing at the entrance. Tome. It's the religious settlement, I think, originally, or maybe it still is. Glad I'm here though. Those roads were getting on my nerves. Argentinian potholes are not to be trifled with. You can't miss them all either. There's not, even if you're even watching your speed and come out of nowhere, it's pretty poor stuff. In a town like Cologne, where some of the roads are dirt track, I think it changes back to tarmac up here. But yeah, it's a challenge driving on these surfaces. Oh, here we go. Maybe that's just Google sat nav for you. It takes you on the dark. This is quite different, but the streets look quite. Yep, always happens. Just went up my mouth. There's a derelict building or semi-derelict, but otherwise the streets look quite tidy and the houses look quite smart, which is always reassuring. My turn, I did down a one-way street there, but no, the roads weren't marked as I got to the end. So I saw a guy in uniform there. He was Navy, but it would just felt like if he was a policeman. You're nicked, son, for going the wrong way down a one-way street. So it's quite interesting. A young lad called Ramon there. I think he had slightly special needs. He gave me a bag full of avocados. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Might eat some of them before they go off, but he took 2 t-shirts off me and 2,000 pesos, which is just a just over £1. So, not less than exchange. But look at this. The river's wide here. I think that's Brazil on the other side as well. I'm sure we're just across the river from Brazil. Interesting. This must be the main square. Yeah, there's the church. I'll show you the church in a second, but I'm over in the main square. I was just going to the shop, but I thought I'd better stop while I'm here, just in case I don't. Just in case I don't manage back. I may go for a wander tomorrow. We'll see if I stay another day. I will come up and I'll wander, but if I don't, I might as well see this while I'm passing. Anyway, I'll ramble on a bit sometimes though. Anyway, I'm not really showing you anything yet. Here's the church. The spire. And again, the place is pretty dead. It's afternoon, and it's Saturday afternoon. I think it could be lively down at the front where I'm wanting to sleep tonight down at the river. And there's folk arriving already. There's a wee bandstand. Some sort of Plaza San Martin, and of course that's General Don Jose San Martin. It's him that founded this place, Santo Tome. It's just a pretty normal plaza. Plazas are nice place for folk to come to. Nice public space. Memorial to the local people that were lost in the Falklands War. In fact, most of Argentina, by the looks of things. No, that didn't affect us in Britain either. Well, Sunday and my lazy days continue, and I thought I just couldn't face driving again. I think I needed a day off. But lazy morning and watched the football that kicked off at 11. Another very entertaining Dundee derby. We were dead and buried. 2-0, 90 minutes had come and gone, and we're still out. Someone managed to steal a draw out of that, but I'll always take that. So we'll get some steps in. As you can see, it's still pretty quiet around here. But man, that food truck's still there. They didn't seem to do much business last night. I was expecting, because Saturday night, I was expecting a much noisier Saturday night. But the bulk of the activities in the afternoon, folk come down and use the tables and chairs and have their barbecues. It's the night we're on it. It's getting quieter. There was noise up the hill. It sounded like there was entertainment going on. Even that finished before midnight. Quite a peaceful night, if I'm honest. So it was, you just can't predict sometimes. I've been some places expecting peace and quiet, and it's just been mayhem. But you know, it was fine last night. So I might have wandered into town. It's a town. I don't know what to expect. There seems to be quite nice coffee shops on Google, so that would do me nicely. Let's see if I can find a coffee shop. Cloud around today, which is nice because it's still really hot. But anyway, we'll go up and see what's going on. Naval base of some sort. I mean, I use this term base lightly because I don't know what to call it. Right, Navy offices and stuff are there. Nice houses. Warm though. I wonder how much hotter it's going to get. It was, when I looked at it in Paraguay, where I'm heading a few weeks ago, it was in the mid-30s constantly, but I'd like to think it'll I've dropped a few degrees, and a few degrees from that temperature by the time I get there. Yeah, it would be pretty hard going. For my habitual coffee and sweet treat there, that cafe was owned by Brazilians, so I went to pay and they didn't accept card. You had to do an online transfer. It's like PayPal, they call it Pix in Brazil, and here it's Mercado Pago, of which I don't have either, so it sent me in a bit of a panic, if I'm honest. So I'm busy trying to download the apps and everything and get it set up. Mercado Pago wouldn't do it because I don't have Argentinian registration details. So I then moved on to Pix, and I was kind of looking through that. I'd already been about half an hour, and I'd been up speaking to him as well when we found out I couldn't use Mercado Pago, and he came over and says, "Look, don't worry about it, it's not in the house." I was a bit embarrassed, but yeah, for all it was a coffee and a sweet treat. It wasn't like I had a 3-course meal with wine and including steaks and things like that. So I guess when you look at it like that, it wasn't a huge deal. But the guy spoke really good English. He was Brazilian. He spoke really good English. But yeah, I was a bit embarrassed. But he said it's no. I mean, I know it wasn't my fault, and he said it wasn't my fault. It's just because of the way their payment system is set up. It's not really much good. But then I suppose they don't get many tourists in with inflexible payment options. So yeah, that was the drama there. Definitely trying to understand it's the way they do things here, but walking around deserted streets in the middle of the afternoon is a wee bit strange. Well, like I say, maybe I should just come out in the evening. I wouldn't say it was a tourist shop, but it's selling mate cups and see here, big Argentinian mugs. Fermi Branca, that's the big drink here as well, Fermi and Coke. Thing here with the River Plate logo on it. They've got their presence throughout Argentina. I suppose that's what you do. The club colours and everything. I'm not sure exactly what it is, whether it's a social club or whether it's for developing local talent. Yeah, it's like it could be a social club or a gym or something. Doesn't look like it's used much anyway. And shoot for you. I don't know if I want to throw myself down that, mind you. I wouldn't do it anyway. But yeah, a bit old school. Sure, the kids have great fun. Yes, pretty old toys. Here, made it of an old oil drum. It's quite resourceful. The thing with these wee towns, they're so far out of the way. They're kind of left to develop at their own pace, I suppose. I'm trying to figure out. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I don't know. There's definitely a bit of culture shock, I think. It's just this horn Monty's burner. I should lift my camera running, going down that on his moped. But yeah, I was talking about these small places. I was thinking, am I getting bored of travelling now, or what is it? But you come to these places and they're like ghost towns. And like I was saying, I think it's more culture shock than anything. Just getting your head round the difference. Because like after being in big cities like Buenos Aires, Rio and Montevideo, and you go out in the countryside and you come across all these really quiet places, it's quite a contrast.